Welcome to the Radiation Therapy Virtual Information Session. Radiation therapists treat cancer and other diseases in patients by administering radiation treatments. Because they work with radiation and radioactive material, radiation therapists must follow safety procedures to make sure that they are not exposed to a potentially harmful amount of radiation. JCERT strives to work together with our program to achieve our mutual goal of excellence in education. Through the process of programmatic accreditation, educators are assured that their educational programs are keeping pace with the profession and with standards developed through national consensus. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, employment of radiation therapists is projected to grow 13% from 2016 to 2026, faster than the average for all occupations. Demand for radiation therapists may stem from the aging population and advances in radiation therapies. Most radiation therapists work full-time. Radiation therapists keep a regular work schedule because radiation therapy procedures are usually planned in advance. For the 5-year pass rate is 91.6%, and the certificate pass rate is 100%. The graduation rate is calculated by the degree students who began the program divided by the number of students that completed the program. The certificate graduate rate is listed on this slide. The annual measurement of the number of graduates that gain employment in radiation therapy within 6 months of graduation versus the number of graduates actively seeking employment are listed on this slide. The radiation therapist must be able to evaluate and give the correct dose of radiation to the appropriate area of the patient's body. They must acquire and maintain specialized technical skills and medical knowledge to render quality patient care. The professional level of this healthcare service requires highly skilled and competent individuals who function as integral members of the healthcare team. Once accepted to Broward College, students will receive a letter with their student ID number. Students should utilize the student ID number to log into their Broward student account at www.broward.edu to monitor transcript evaluations and their limited access program application. Students must also monitor their Broward student email account, as that is where the admissions department will communicate with students regarding application status and program acceptance. The admission and selection process is managed by the Health Science Admissions Department. The application period runs from January 15th to March 30th. The admissions criteria for the AS degree is a point-based system based on degree-required general education courses which are utilized to rank applicants. Acceptance depends on where the student falls in the point ranking system, with the top-ranking students being accepted. The following are the points awarded for the general education courses. Upon completion of the general education course, the following points are added to the grade received for a total course point. It is important that students do well in these courses. The applicant pool is large and selection is based on the highest points. Five points are awarded to anyone that served in the military service. There are two sequential methods to ensure a point tiebreaker. The first being these students completing medical terminology and computer and internet literacy courses receive the following points. To break the equivalent point tie, after all points are awarded, then the overall GPA will be used. All applications will be reviewed based on published admission selection criteria and not in the order in which they were received by the Health Science Admissions Office. The admissions criteria for the certificate are listed on this slide. For the certificate, selection criteria for the point system is listed on this slide. After you apply, the admissions department evaluates all applications once the application period has ended. The admissions department will contact you in June to notify you as to whether you have been accepted. Admissions will notify students through their BC email, therefore it is strongly encouraged to regularly check your BC email. Once you receive your acceptance email, which again will be sent to your BC email, you'll be invited to attend a pre-admissions orientation. During the pre-admissions orientation, admissions will inform you of all the paperwork that will be required prior to entering the program, such as your drug testing, background check, fingerprint testing, etc. This slide represents the first year courses of the AS degree program. Beginning in the summer semester, the radiation therapy program will add to the AS class certificate students who are accepted into the program. This slide demonstrated the courses that will be taken during the second year of the program. The cost listed on this slide is the current estimate and subject to change without notice. This slide represents approximate time spent in classes and the minimum recommended study time for the first year in the fall term. This slide represents the approximate time spent in classes and the minimum recommended study time for the first year in the spring term. This slide represents the approximate time spent in classes and the minimum recommended study time for the first year in the summer term. This slide represents the approximate time spent in classes and the minimum recommended study time for the second year in the fall term. This slide represents the approximate time spent in classes and the minimum recommended study time for the second year in the spring term. This slide represents the approximate time spent in classes and the minimum recommended study time for the second year in the summer term. Radiation therapy didactic and laboratory courses are taught on the North Campus located in Coconut Creek, Building 41 in rooms 150 and 152. Radiation therapy clinical courses are conducted at hospitals and outpatient centers within Broward, Dade, Palm Beach, and Martin counties. All clinical courses are held Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between the hours of 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. through the last 3 semesters of the program. All didactic courses are held on North Campus. First year didactic courses and labs are offered on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 4:30. Second year didactic classes are Tuesday and Thursday from 8 to 5. The following is contact information about admissions in the program. The best method to get your questions answered is by email. Should you have further questions regarding the radiation therapy program, please visit the website. We strongly encourage students to keep checking the website for updates and to stay current with academic requirements. Thank you for your interest in the radiation therapy program and for attending the information session.